welcome to another episode of Product and Cake. In the season 3, and in our wheelchair recording studio today with me is Paul. How you doing, Paul?
Hello, Ghonche. Thank you very much for the introduction. I feel great. How are you?
I'm good too. I already want to start with our check-in question because I have some news. So I'm gonna go on vacation,
Ooh.
and yes, soon. I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Also because the weather turned really bad recently, so it's gotten cold, and I'm
Yeah.
cannot wait to go somewhere warm again. But my question for you is, what is the weirdest thing that one of these generative AI tools have told you? So either ChatGPT, Gemini, or one of these language AI tools have said.
That is a very nice question. Obviously, I have a lot of weird answer in regarding of code assistants, but as they are
Ooh.
on source code level, maybe they are not so funny to explain in a podcast. But from time to time, they create some interesting. They suggest some interesting solutions. But what I'm doing and what I really love is let the AI roast something. Did you ever try
Ooh.
that? You can say
No.
roast that logo or roast that idea. I also
Interesting.
asked first who is Paul Luno, and then it gave me a rough summary, and then I said, okay, now roast Paul Luno, and it was so funny, and it was I was laughing so hard because it was so true and so mean in a way, but also yeah, very good. In the end, the thing that stuck to my mind was with my previous startup where we built technology for elderlies, and we had this.
Mhm.
This the morale is so high, and the social impact is so big, and we try to bring our grandparents into the internet, right? And ChatGPT said something like, "Paul is the only one who is trying to make a business out of when his grandmother is calling." I thought, yes, it's funny because it's true. Um, I really love it. It has great ideas. I can really recommend to roast
All
something.
right. I will definitely try it.
What was
But
yours?
so yeah, last night my partner and I wanted to plan our vacation, and we asked Gemini to give us an itinerary. So we said that, hey, we are going to this place from this time to this time, and we are going to South Italy. And we said, hey, we are going there, and we are looking to maybe do some snorkeling, maybe do kayaking, like water sports. And what do you suggest as our itinerary, and what should we do? And the result was, this was really shocking because it said, even though smoking was not as part of your requested items, we do recommend smoking. You can enjoy smoking as a nice activity,
What?
either in your garden or from a window with sea view. So yeah, Gemini told me to smoke.
Right. That is really weird.
It was.
Awesome.
I really don't know what to do with that information. Do you think it's because a lot of people posted information that they enjoyed smoking there, or how did it get to that idea? Because it was not in our request, and neither of us smokes. So,
Yeah, that is a very interesting research question. Because in the end, the AI models don't know what they suggest, right? They just predict the
yeah,
next word. So yeah, maybe it is appearing very often in the training data. Possible. Maybe that's
yeah.
why it is also so funny to roast something, because it feels like half of the internet is someone roasting someone else. So that works very well. We don't know yet.
Yeah, but it's very interesting indeed. And
Nice. You know what is also full of AI tools nowadays and really tries to bring us the joy of AI? It is all of the product management tools.
That's a really good transition into the topic of our episode today, as we are going to talk about the product management tools and the common tools that we can use in our day-to-day work as product managers.
Yes, that is the topic for today. And we try to keep it short and precise. Let's see, because I have to say, I really love tools. I could spend my whole day with installing tools, trying them out, and start to
Oh,
write my
wow.
own tools. I really love them.
And I'm a little bit more classic than that, and there are a couple of tools that I specifically dislike. We can
Ooh.
maybe start with those.
Yeah, let's have top 3 tools we like and top 3 tools we dislike.
All right. So, top three tools that I like. The first one in the category of task management, backlog management, etc., I would consider Trello. Even though it's a basic tool, I think that's the beauty of it. You can use it for everything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard when you have a really big company and you need to manage multiple projects. It doesn't give you a lot of visibility on everything, but for a startup, for a small team, for even onboarding, offboarding, for even one-on-ones, it's a really nice tool. I use it for a lot of things. I use it for personal stuff. I use it for work. I use it for one-on-one coaching. I really love that.
Nice.
Should I go all top three, or do you want to go first top one as well?
Oh, that was your top 1. I thought that's your top 3. I was wondering what's coming next.
I can go. I can go. The mention the two other ones as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is not the second one. It's not necessarily a tool similar to for task management, but it's a tool that I think brought a lot of ease into the product management work. Even though it's not a product manager's tool, it is a tool that the product managers benefited a lot from. It's mainly a designer's tool. I really love Figma. I think it made working together really easy between designer, product manager, and the developer. And it made a lot of questions very clear. It's great.
True.
And the third one is
Wait, one.
Miro. Yes.
Sorry, before we jump to Miro, Figma. Do you have an editor account and you are also
No,
drawing stuff in Figma?
no.
No.
And I
Okay.
don't think product managers should do that. That's a role of a product designer. And it's a so the relationship between a product designer and a product manager is between them. They can decide what works best for them. They can decide either, hey, give me a sketch and I make it nicer, or no, I want to be, don't give me any ideas. I don't want my creativity to be blocked. Let's work on the from the problem statement together. So there are different ways that this relationship can work, and it is only between those two people. I cannot
Mhm.
come here and say, hey, in general, all product managers should not do sketching, or in general all products managers should do sketching, but as a rule of thumb, I'd rather to keep everyone in their own lane and say, hey, sketch is the role, sketching and designing the tools, having an editor access to Figma, it is the role of a designer, and it's not something a product manager should do unless it is a deal between the two and they want to do that.
Yeah, of course, all projects are very different, right? And also the requirements are different. We, for
Yeah.
example, recently switched our modes. Before we also had this very strict separation, but recently we started to sketch in our product tech discussions already the solution in kind of a wireframe, right? Because we realized that it is slightly hard from time to time to just talk about user stories and so on. So we wanted to make it a little bit more visual. So I was
But is the
wondering,
designer involved there?
no, in that discussion, it was not involved.
Yeah, I think that's problematic. That's a red flag for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, for it was more for us to talk about our backlog items. So it was too early to really jump on design. It was more on the bigger initiatives. And I think Figma is quite hard to use without spending a lot of time with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's why I
exactly.
was asking.
Yeah, no, I don't think product managers should have edit access to Figma, but also I think involving designer as soon as possible is really important. So they go together, it's a pair, and they should think with the same brain, kind of. So they
Yeah,
should, it's a, in my perspective, it's the most and closest relationship at work. At least that's what I consider, based on what I've seen, that's what I consider the most successful. But again, this is a very individual, and it depends also on what do we expect. Because sometimes in teams we have just a UI designer, sometimes we have a product designer, sometimes
true.
we have a UX expert, and sometimes we have it all in one together. So if the person is only a UI designer, yes, I agree with you that maybe it doesn't make sense that they are involved in all of these discussions early on until it becomes the time that the design is almost, the concept is created and someone just needs to put the UI on it and makes it nicer and more coherent. But if you're talking about product designers, I think they are a pair with the product manager. But anyway,
That feels very much like you would suggest an episode about ways of working.
definitely 100% we need to have that episode.
For sure.
But
But before we dive into that, let us talk about your third tool you really like.
yes, I already gave it away. It's Miro.
Yes,
It's the best tool for collaboration, and as product managers also are the role that needs the collaboration the most, because individually a product manager cannot do much. The product manager is a glue and facilitator between a lot of departments, so needs to bring together a lot of people. And Miro is a really good tool for that. It has a lot of good templates that you can use for running a retro, creating a roadmap, or having a workshop, um, having team building activities,
true.
getting feedback. It's really nice. Miro is really good.
And it makes so much sense to read the release notes because they are
Hmm.
crazy on releasing new tools. It's and
Yeah,
functionality and so on. It's fantastic what you can do.
and it's really fun. Like each release note, I consider as a case study.
Yeah,
The way that they wrote that release note, the way that they're showcasing their products, and sometimes the yearly release notes that they have is really fun. It's in a Miro page, usually their yearly release notes, and you need to interact with a lot of, like, it's a maze and you
yeah,
need to interact with it and you learn a lot. It's really cool.
yeah. I also
Yeah.
really like it. Cool. That are three very valuable tools. And I think I can add three more from my
Ooh, I
list.
thought we share a lot of it.
We do. And I could definitely agree to yours, but beside Trello. Um, but I want to add some more, obviously. So
Yes, yes, please.
on place three, I have Atlas Compass. So that is
Ooh.
basically the um, uh, um, admin application for a MongoDB database. And they do crazy stuff with it at the moment. They have so many features. And since you can just throw in your database schema into ChatGPT or any other AI and then start asking questions like how many users registered last month and tell me what they did. And it is just giving you the query, you copy paste into Atlas, it gives you the results immediately, and then you can take that and transform it into charts. And that is
Oh,
crazy. So
wow.
if your
That's
tech
really
stack,
interesting.
it is really nice to use. They also develop it very hard, and if your tech stack need to support it, right? And there are some things that will make your DevOps engineers, if you have any, a little bit nervous if you as a product manager dive into it. But to get real data, it is very, very beneficial. I recently used it a lot and I really like it. It makes it
Nice. That sounds like
especially
a really good
yeah,
tool.
that is definitely worth to get numbers without bothering the engineers all the time. You just need to bother them once to give you this mirror of your production database, and then off you go. Make your own queries and start to create valuable insights.
Nice, because I was really sad that I don't have a tool for for data tracking and data monitoring in my top three.
That I know, that's why I added it. So on place 2, I have ClickUp. ClickUp is, I think they call themselves the all-in-one tool, and they want to make everything. They have also some boards like Miro, and they have some documents like Notion. But what they do good, I would say, is all the ticket management, and it is really flexible. It have some downsides here and there, but it is quite fast, and I like it.
Nice. I've never used ClickUp really, so I will give it a try.
Here at XU, we are in a super comfortable situation because everyone in the company is using ClickUp and everything is public. So I can easily check what's going on at the IT and marketing and account management, sales. Everything is in ClickUp. And of course, everyone needs to learn it. It is a lot of information, and you need to find the right processes on how to work with it. But having the possibility to throw tickets and information and documents around the teams and have one central place everyone is working with, it's cool. Definitely beneficial.
Nice.
And I have basically two things on my first place. One is also Miro, but we already talked about it. I really like Miro. It's so fast. Also, the keyboard controls are fantastic. You can work really fast with it. And the second one is Linear. Linear is similar to ClickUp, also a project management software, but it is fairly new, and they launched it, I don't know when, but it's not so long ago, in a totally over flooded market, right? There were so many ticket management applications already there, and they said, okay, they are all suck, and we made a better technical decisions from the beginning, and then we built the very best UX on top. And whatever I saw in other podcasts and in other projects where I were able to take a look in, it looks amazing. That's why ClickUp is now on place 2, and I'm a little bit sad that everyone is used to ClickUp now and I can't change it anymore. But Linear is worth checking.
Nice. I will give it a go. I also haven't tried that one yet. As I said, I'm more old school. My top one was Trello.
Yeah, Trello, I never get used to Trello somehow.
Um,
But we also wanted to talk about the other side of the
yes.
medal. What are your worst top 3 products? Or
Oh my
uh,
God.
um,
All right, I will copy you and start with the third worst, and then we'll keep the most horrible at last. Um, hmm. I don't think I have the third worst actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think I have two really horrible tools. Oh no, actually I do. Oh my God. I think the third worst is the whole Microsoft Teams and the whole Outlook calendar, that whole
yeah,
combination. I'm sorry, but I think even if I get a job offer from a company that uses that, I have to decline. I cannot. I really cannot. Like my soul will suffer.
yeah. My
That's
hypothesis is Teams is actively working against efficient remote team collaboration. It's
exactly.
horrible. Yeah.
Exactly. I really cannot. So that's a first. Also, whenever you accept a meeting or something, the meeting disappears. Like the info of the meeting disappears. It's just no.
Yeah.
The second worst, which
Wait,
unfortunately,
Ghonche, sorry to
yes.
interrupt you, but let me share my third place because it is so close to it. Then we
Okay,
can
yeah, go on.
switch it. On my place 3, it's PowerPoint. Whenever we
Oh
need to
yeah.
put
Hmm.
something together, PowerPoint is so horrible, and it is just not working in the browser. And compared with Google
Yeah.
presentation, it is such a pain, unbelievable. There's just one thing I like, and that is sharing a PowerPoint in Microsoft Teams. That is working like a charm. I have a button in the browser, share in Teams, and then I have my notes and the next slides and anything. That is something I have to say I really like. But PowerPoint is on place 3 and Teams is on place 2 for me.
Oh,
What's your
okay. Yeah.
What's your second place?
My second is, so I don't, they basically are interchangeable between place one and place two. But my second place goes to Confluence.
Oh, yeah. I also can
It's
sign that.
it's a document management tool that is just made in like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and it looks like that. It stayed that way. I don't think it has had any improvement in the last 2 decades. And it is hard to work with. Documents get lost in the middle, and I know probably it's not. Probably if you're a really, really advanced Confluence user, you can use it and love it, and it's the best thing ever. But for me, that I am documenting something and I'm not, and I just want to access it and share it with everyone later, and wanted to have a clear and very clean aesthetic to make it readable, that's horrible. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. It is really hard to format everything. It feels like coding in HTML, CSS. Like,
Yeah. Especially if you compare it to Notion, or also the ClickUp documents are very
exactly,
similar. They are just looking beautiful out of the box, and you have one click and share it publicly or with your coworkers.
exactly.
And Confluence, yeah, you
Yeah,
get the task to update a Confluence page, and that is the one that will stick to your to-do list, to your Trello board.
exactly. And also for everything, it sends you an email. I changed my settings not to get any notification from Confluence, but I keep getting. It's a document that I had one edit on it 2 years ago, and someone else now edits it. I get a notification. Why? Oh my God.
Damn it, yeah, Confluence. My place one is very much connected to it.
My place one as well. I think
Okay.
it's shared across a lot of PMs, a lot of people who work in tech. We collectively hate this product, but it is very big in the market. It is very corporate tool, and a lot of companies are still using it. And I think you can say it
IT
well.
IT admins love it,
Yeah, that's true.
most likely. Yeah, it's Jira or
Yes. Oh
Jira.
my
No
God.
one knows how to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me too. When we worked together, I once met. It is a long time ago when I met the Jira administrator of eBay, and
Oh
he
my
said
God.
he's working together with 4 colleagues to make Jira run and to set up the workflows. And I thought, wow, 4 people
Full
to
time.
manage just the ticket management system. It's
Im
crazy.
Imagine you have that like for every tool. Like imagine you have that now for Slack. Imagine you have that for Notion.
Yeah,
Like, can you imagine 4 people full time being responsible to make sure Slack runs?
yeah, right.
Oh yeah, Jira is horrendous. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah. And
But
especially in the beginning, right? If you say, hey, we need a full-fledged tool. I worked once with Jira, it could do anything. Never go into that trap. There are tools
yeah,
that are so much sleeker and faster and easier to use.
yeah. The good thing about Jira is that it is extremely customizable, but also it means that if you had experience of working with Jira in one company, you do not have had experience with working with Jira because each company's setup with Jira is so different that you probably the only similar things between them is that you know the ugly blue color that they have.
Yeah,
But that said, like it is such a different tool from company to company, based on the individual setting.
it is. Yeah, very, very true. So, to end that episode with maybe a more positive outlook, if you would start now from scratch, or you would be hired into a startup team to suggest them some tools, Is there any tool you would recommend next to the three we already mentioned? Next to Miro, Trello, maybe from your side. What if I'm
I
sitting here together with 4 friends and I'm asking you, hey, which tool should we use right now?
There are some basic things that I would suggest to start with. It's Slack and G Suite.
Yeah.
So I think setting up these two things are relatively a lower cost things, especially if it's like you're a
At,
really small team, you
at
can
least in the
potentially to
beginning.
some extent, yeah, use it even
Uh,
for free. So yeah, G Suite and Slack, I think.
yeah, I would maybe also recommend Notion, because
Mm-hmm.
Notion can also support you for quite a long time, combining all tickets, documents, strategies, stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But you could also do that in the beginning in Google Spreadsheet, for example.
Yeah. All right, but I think we have a nice list of tools.
Definitely. So if you enjoyed that episode and you want to learn more about some tools, then drop us a line so we can think about deep dives into the tools, because there is so much more to say.
Exactly. We need to go deep into each aspects of the tools that we introduce. Like it's a design prototype tool, it's a task management tool, it's a collaboration tool. So all of them has its own lane.
Yeah, productivity tools. Whoa,
Exactly.
so many more. Cool. Then subscribe to our season 3, because we have a lot of more valuable insights in how to become a product manager.
Exactly. And recommend this podcast to everyone you know, and mainly if they have been a product manager, want to be a product manager, have aspired to be a product manager. Also, if they didn't like Jira, definitely recommend this episode.
Yeah, that's the hook we got now.
Exactly.
Nice. Cool. We made it in 27 minutes. I'm proud of us.
Nice.
Have a nice whatever is in front of you.
Bye.